Yo, what's up everybody? This is Rob with Fruit of Labor Landscaping, and I am pre-making this video to announce the identity of the plant we did this week for What Is It Wednesday. And I'm hoping that we have a good winner. If so, I will announce you, I promise. And just wanted to go ahead and thank anybody and everybody who participated in this week's What Is It Wednesday. If you haven't heard from me, then you need to check your inboxes, make sure that you weren't the winner or were the winner so that you can claim your reward. And in a separate post, I'll talk about donations to this week's charity. So be looking out for that too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this week's What Is It Wednesday plant. All right, so this is Thai plant. That's the common name for it. And I'm not gonna pretend like I'm good at pronouncing botanical or scientific names. So you will see that posted in text on this video, probably right about now. This plant is just a great addition to almost any landscape. It grows really well, especially here in Central Florida, and pretty much anywhere warmer than that, it's gonna be great too. The zones are kind of limited for this plant being able to be grown outside unless you put it in a really good microclimate. So the listed zones, at least that I've seen, is zone 10 through 12. I'm in 9B, and I have never had this plant die back from a frost. I do have it under some canopies here, so it does get somewhat of a microclimate, and kind of probably has a little bit higher threshold for the cooler temps because of that microclimate. I just really enjoy this plant as, a non-flowering but good color popping plant. Now there's a ton of varieties of this plant that will have leaves that kind of have different colors in them. Obviously mine, the one I have here, this came with the house, so I'm not exactly sure on the variety, but obviously this one has a lot more pink to it. The older leaves will, darken and become this kind of like brownish purple. And as you can tell, it's a very leggy plant. There are some other varieties that can stay shorter. I think my variety can sometimes get up to 10 feet tall, along with other varieties. But there are some dwarf varieties, and then they have created varieties that have different, splotches in the leaves. So you would have maybe a little bit of orange added in, or a little bit different shade of pink or purple. So there's a lot of flexibility, and I say a lot of flexibility. There is some flexibility in the color that you're adding with the Thai plant based on the variety. I really like this plant. I think I said it in the original video. I like it intermixed with other green foliage, or just as a good year-round foliage, a year-round color addition to your landscape, because other plants that may flower only seasonally, you're going to lose that color, especially in the fall or the winter. But the plants that are using foliage as their color addition to your landscape, they don't have that season of non-blooming, so they're just going to give you year-round color. I have had some issues with certain pests on Thai plants, and that has been a very big limiting factor in how I've used it in landscaping, because I try and make decisions on plants that are very, basically that thrive on neglect. And I've noticed that the Thai plant is a host to sometimes scale and sometimes to snails, and both of those are pretty tough to control once they're there. So I do want to mention that there is a pest problem with these, but other than that, I don't have any problems. This has thrived on neglect since I've owned the house. I don't fertilize it. I don't take extra time to water it. I really don't do anything to it. You can see that it's kind of just been in this little spot of the yard, and some of it's been knocked over by fallen branches, and some of it's grown sideways. You can trim them, you can propagate them from cuttings, you can cut them back, whatever you want to do. They're pretty resilient plants, and they're a good addition to your normal landscape if you want this pink pop wherever you want to grow it. Now I will say that it probably will do the best in shade. That's where I've always planted it. That's where I've seen it do the best. Full sun tends to burn the leaves. You'd get kind of more of like that appearance there. That's pretty much all I got, guys. thanks everybody for participating. I hope to get back on the wagon with our weekly What Is It Wednesday post. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys will participate and stay with me on the weekly post. I'll see you next time.